Good morning from a very sunny and very windy Emmetts Garden. Today we're going to do the Weardale circular walk, which according to the National Trust website is 5 miles long and takes about 3 hours. It's about 11 o'clock at the moment, so we're setting off slightly later than usual. The reason behind that is the fact that the Weardale walk actually takes you to Chartwell part way round, and we're hoping to time our arrival there for lunch.
Oh, we're just walking up to the tea room now, and there's a toilet block just round to the right. This walk starts off in the same place as the previous video that we did here at Emmetts. Yeah, that was the circular walk to Toys Hill. So you'd follow this path in front here around to the right, past the entrance to the cafe, and then up to the gate and out into the woods. Quite blustery today, as you can probably hear.
So we've come out of the top of Emmetts and we've reached this signpost, which as you can see points the Weardale walk to the left. And actually the walk is well signposted all the way around, so that does make it a lot easier to follow.
Oh, still following the signs that say the Weardale walk. It was pretty much uphill since the last little piece to camera. We are now approaching a road where we got to cross, so a little bit of caution required. We have had a little bit of shelter from that breeze in amongst the trees, which was nice. Here we go.
So we've reached the end of the woods and we're going to follow the track that's ahead of us down towards French Street. So there's no pavement, but the track does just lead up to a few houses, so it's very quiet and safe to walk along. And as I said, we'll follow it downhill and eventually come into French Street even. And then unfortunately what goes down must go up because it's back up the other side. I lied. The uphill stretch was just before we got to French Street, and it was very uphill indeed, but we've made it, and we've now turned left at the signpost you can see ahead of us into the public bridleway. So we've just come out of the path on the right hand side, and rather than going straight across the road, the Weardale walk takes you left, so we're walking along the road now. And then keeping an eye out for another sign, I think to the right hand side. We'll let you know if it wasn't.
And as predicted, here is our right turn off of the lane. You can see there's been a little bit of updating and modernisation with these new posts, and we are actually now entering the Chartwell property. A little bit difficult to see in the sunshine, but there we go. There's the sign. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can climb in over here. I think I'm going to duck under the barrier.
So we're just dropping down in towards Chartwell, and over on the right hand side you can see a wooden fence. Next to that fence is a little footpath, and that's the one that we're going to be taking when we come to leave Chartwell after lunch. So you effectively sort of double back on yourself at the start of the circular walk, but on the other side of that wire fence near where that wooden fence is. But for now, we're going to walk down this hill, then we can cut across the car park and over to the cafe and find some lunch. It's about 12:20, so should be there by about 25 past, which is perfect timing, I think. Thank you. And then there's the cafe up there. It's a Monday lunchtime, it's term time, and so Chartwell is quite quiet, so hopefully it should be easy to find a table inside. We were delighted to discover that in the cafe they had our favourite National Trust lunch, which is the vegan pasty. So it's a curried cauliflower and chickpea pasty, I think. It's certainly a curried vegetable pasty. And there's the inside. Oops.
Leaving Chartwell after about half an hour or so. Very pleasant lunch. And now we've got a little bit of a hike up the hill out of the car park before we pick up the circular walk again back towards Emmetts.
I'm pretty sure that these steps are new and that it used to just be a path up the hill out the car park. But there are steps. We should go up them. So we're going to go up this footpath next to the main entrance to Chartwell, which is the one that we pointed out on our way in. So if we follow this up to the top, we'll then go straight across the road, back the way we came through the very muddy woods to French Street, and then we're going to take a different direction so that the route becomes circular again.
Okay, we're back in French Street again, tiny hamlet we walked through earlier in the other direction. This time we're going to go left at this junction, walk along the lane, and I think somewhere in on the left hand side is a red post box, which is our next sort of signpost, as it were.
So here's the post box on the left hand side, very well hidden in the hedge, so perhaps not the easiest thing to spot, but a little bit more obviously there's a footpath sign, and we're going to take the one down to the right where it says public footpath to Piper's Green and Bracestead Chart. So I'm going to head down there. It becomes a series of steps as you get a little bit further along it.
Well, that was slightly challenging. Steps were quite steep and a little bit muddy. Caution advised trying to negotiate that, but we're down. We just followed the path across the field, which is fenced off, and then we're going to go across the little stream and then just follow the walk ahead.
So through the gate and into the field, and you can just about see where the path goes across the field. But the main thing is we're heading for that top right corner where there's another gate.
So we're through this last gate and heading on upward again back towards hitting the woods just outside Emmetts. I don't think we've got too much further to go, maybe another 15-20 minutes, but a lot of this way back is noticeably uphill.
So the next stretch of the walk is through the woods, but it does take you across 2 roads. The first one you just go straight across at, but it is a 40 mph speed limit, so you do need to be a little careful looking left and right. And the second one is a little trickier, because there's a bridle path straight ahead, but we actually want to turn left down the road for a very little way before we take a path on the right hand side.
And as previously mentioned, 17.5 minutes later, which I think falls pretty well between 15 and 20 minutes, we are back at Emmetts. Here's the entry gate back into Emmetts Gardens, and it's taken us about 50 minutes, 55 minutes, so quite a bit shorter on the way back.
So the whole thing ended up taking us less than the 3 hours on the National Trust website, including a break for lunch. So we probably left Emmetts about 11:15, and we're back about 5 to 2. And as I said, that did include sort of 25 minutes, half an hour for lunch. So I think the 3 hours is quite generous, but equally, if it's a warmer day, there were some benches along the way, there were some nice views to be had. We were keeping moving to keep ourselves warm. We hadn't done this one for a while, probably about 18 months or so, and I had forgotten how hilly it was. So it was a little bit more strenuous than anticipated. Now granted, we haven't done much walking this winter, and yesterday was legs day, but I would definitely call that a medium difficulty walk overall, but very enjoyable. Nice to sort of get some spring sunshine, a few snowdrops in the woods, and nice vegan pasty. Now we're going to walk back through Emmetts Garden to the car, and then home for tea and some leftover cheesecake.